Hey, Dirt Farmer Jay here from dirtfarmerjay.com. In a previous video, I showed you how to draw a perfect arc. I've got two more great methods you're going to want to see. Stay tuned. Hey, Dirt Farmer Jay here from dirtfarmerjay.com. Welcome to part 2 of how to draw a perfect arc. In that first episode, which you can check out right here by following this link, we showed you two methods for drawing what's called a fair arc. In this episode, I'm going to show you two more methods. One that's just kind of a cool trick, kind of quick and dirty, and the other one's super geeky for those of you that have got to get something a specific size and radius. Before we get started, if you like the way we teach this material, would you consider subscribing to our channel? Just simply ring the bell when you subscribe, and that way you'll be notified approximately every Friday of another great episode about the home, the garden, the kitchen, or the shop. And check out our website, dirtfarmerjay.com/shop for some great merch, and the rest of the website for lots of extended content. Well, let's get to work. I'm going to show you two more methods. All right, the first method I'm going to show you today is when you have two pieces of information. You know how wide the arc is. It's going to fit in a predetermined area, and you know from that baseline how tall the arc is. If you have those two pieces of information, then follow along on this method, and you can go back to that first video for two other methods if you have just those two pieces of information, width and height. Well, let's go ahead and do this. We're going to go ahead and draw a baseline here. We've just done some real simple things. All you need is a straight edge, you need a square, you need some nails, and in this case, you're going to need 5 nails, of course, a hammer to drive them. You need 2 pieces of wood. This case, I got some inexpensive wood rulers or yardsticks, but pieces of lath will work just as well. You'll need some brads and a hammer to put those brads together. We're going to make an arch that's 34 inches wide from point to point. That's in geometry terms, or in formal terms, that's called the arch's baseline or chord. So that's what we're going to do, is we're going to do a 34-inch chord. So let's just get that drawn right away here. And I'm just going to draw a wild line starting at 34, and we're going to go all the way down here, down to 0. And now we have a 34-inch baseline. The second thing we need to do is bisect that baseline and find a center point. So half of 34 is 17. So I'm just going to put the 17-inch mark right there. And just to double check, we know it's 17. I'm going to slide it there and roll it down to here, and you can see we got 17 on both sides. So now we have a baseline with a center point. Now we're going to draw the height, and I'm just going to put a T here. Now, as I told you, the formal name for this, or the correct descriptor, is called a chord or baseline. This height right here is not just the height, it's known as a sagitta. Does that sound familiar? Sagittarius has to do with an archer, an arrow, a point. So what we're going to do here is let's just choose a number. Let's just do a 7-inch. So I'm going to run this up, and I'm going to stop right at 7-inch. And there is my sagitta, or the height of the arch. So when we're done here with this technique, you're going to have an arch that originates right at that point. It's going to be a fair curve. In other words, it's going to be beautifully smooth. There's no flat spots. It'll be this beautiful curve that at its highest point hits there and then does the exact thing. It regresses back over into this point, and those two sides are equal. There's no football shape or anything like that. It's just beautiful. We have those 3 points. Now what do we need to do? Well, we actually need to pound some nails, but we need to do one more thing for this method. I need to get this point moved up to the same height over here, and this one over here. So I'm actually going to draw a parallel line here. Let's do that. All right, now we need that point over here. We know it's 17 inches, so I'm just gonna measure 17 inches on both sides of the center point and put a mark there. I'm gonna do the same thing over here. 17 inches. And I've got 4 points now. Let's drive some nails. I don't need a nail here, but I need a nail right here, right here, right here, right here, right here. 5 nails. Let's go ahead and drive just enough into the top to be solid. Here we go. All right, we now have our points all put together here. Now, this is where the magic happens. What we're gonna do is take these 2 straight edges, and again, these aren't super precise, but it's probably close enough for most shop work, and especially in smaller arches. Again, I want you to notice that this could be scaled up a longer arch, let's say for a doorway transition between 2 living areas in your home. Something that might be used as an outdoor hardscape item out in your yardscape, and you want this beautiful fair arch, you could scale this up, and as long as you lengthen the sticks, and you'll see why in just a moment, you can use the same technique. So the first thing we're going to do is lay this against 2 of the nails, and it doesn't matter whether you do it these 2 or that 2, but we'll just go ahead and start right here. And you want that to overlap here. Then you're going to take this one and lay it over the top of, butt it up against this nail and against that nail. And then what we're going to do here, I'm just going to pretty it up a bit, is I'm going to drive some fasteners right here to affix this angle. So let's go ahead and do that. We're going to draw the left side, your right side of the arc to begin with, and so we'll lay the top stick along the outside edges of these 2 nails and the angle stick on the outside edge of this outline nail on the baseline. Now, right at the intersection of where these 2 happen, I'm going to drop the pencil point in here, and while there's a little bit of variation, you're able to clean it up afterwards. We're simply going to put it here, nest the pencil in here, and then we're going to move this, keeping 2 of the nails in contact at all times. You can't do this and you can't do that. If you do, you've lost it. So the idea is to move in a nice smooth action like that, keeping the pencil in here. Well, let's see what it does. Here we go. You have 2 choices here now. Either I can take this and undo it, fold it in half, and transcribe that line over here to get the other side, or I can now reverse sides and put this here. Same thing. Sitting on the outside of these 2 nails and on top of this one, we're going to put the pencil right in the corner here, and we're going to move to the right. What do you think? That's a fair curve. Now you should notice that this is actually a slice off a larger circle. So the circle would probably be just about this big around, and what we've done is done a tangent, just cut off a section of it. Again, this is great along with the other 2 methods we showed you when you already know the baseline length and the sagitta or the height. What if you've got a predetermined radius? That is, let's suppose it's in a large area or a big display area or maybe a showroom or something, and you want the same arch to appear and disappear off a center radius, and you have a predetermined radius. Let's suppose that the radius of the circle in which you're cutting off tangents is predetermined. Let's just choose something. Let's say it's 25-foot radius, a 50-foot round circle. Well, you could imagine trying to take a radius, a 25-foot radius, find a space big enough that you'd create kind of like a compass and then draw an arc and slice a piece off of it. That's not the way to go. So, geek alert. The 4th method takes some algebra and geometry, and it is based on formulas. Given 2 of the 3 dimensions, you can always get the third one. So if you know the radius and the baseline, one formula that we're sending you to will give you the sagitta. If you already have the sagitta and you have the radius, then another formula will give you the baseline. So 2 givens and then one thing you find. Since you can usually draw an arc using one of the first 3 methods, if you have the baseline or the chord and the height here, the sagitta, the one that really may be helpful for you in the formulas is if you already have the radius and how wide the baseline needs to be. What do you need as far as the sagitta? You can follow over at the websites that we provided below in the description, and you can check out those websites that'll walk you through algebra. I'm not going to teach any algebra or geometry on this channel, but for those of you that really need those tools, you can go right over there and you'll get the help you need. And speaking of not using math, check out this video episode where I teach you how to find the dead center of any board without having to use math. And while you're at it, check out this video that YouTube thinks is interesting to you. Well, that's not bad.